concept. You have a great concept. You guys are doing it, man. And it's an honor for me to just be, you know, a small rock, man, in your mountain. I'm going to pop a top in your honor.
Mr. Doc Walker blessed us with his presence and knowledge.
We want to welcome in our next special guest, Haley Skarupa. She's a three-time world champion in women's ice hockey and most recently won Olympic gold with Team USA.
The Cap Stadium Series is definitely my favorite, obviously. I'm a huge Caps fan, I always have been, and to be there at that game with my teammates and for us to bring, you know, our gold medals to there and share it with everyone in this area was really, really special for me, and just the support and it's been tremendous from everyone in this area, and you could feel that there at that game.
Welcome to Sports on the Hill podcast. Hashtag DC Sports Without the Politics with Carol and Robbie on True Radio Network.
And hello and welcome to episode 399 of Sports on the Hill podcast, the last episode of the 300s. I'm joined by my Capitals co-hosts of Gil and C4. We'll get into some hockey action. Tonight we're also watching Monday Night Raw and a crazy match that just happened here between Austin Theory and Rey Mysterio, and so it'll be interesting to see. Braun Breaker is just came into the match at the just after the match, and
of course he
anyway,
did.
Of course. Anyway, we'll talk more wrestling in hour two. We're going to have C4 join us for a little crossover special as we do a little countdown towards the Royal Rumble, which is this weekend. So that'll be fun. We also have the NFC and AFC championship games that happened this past weekend that we will break down as well. I've been snowed in. I haven't left my house since Saturday. The roads are not plowed. We are out tomorrow as well. I'll be watching both of the kids and doing asynchronous education. So yeah, it's been an interesting week for sure to start this one off, and I'm excited to be able to talk about something other than being trapped in my house. So I'm thankful to have friends on. Gil and C4 will break down this 1-1 week for the Capitals, which was interesting. We didn't win the one that we were all hoping to win, especially Janaea, who was on last week. I feel bad for her that she kind of got the worst end of the stick. Then I'm happy they got some redemption in the middle, and they were just about 40 seconds away from a win in the third game, and it just kind of all fell apart for them. So we'll break down that game as well. So again, start off with some hockey. We'll then talk wrestling in the middle, and then we'll end with talking about the two football championship games that were both very exciting this past weekend. And we'll also do a little bit of a preview of the Super Bowl, but really save that for next week. And so next week we got a really big show. It'll be episode 400. We'll have a lot of old friends coming on from different time periods in the show's history, and talking about all the different sports. We'll mostly focus on hockey and previewing the Super Bowl, but we'll also talk about our favorite moments of the first 400 episodes of the show. So a big milestone I'm excited to hit, and so definitely stay tuned for next week's big show. We will also be giving live updates for this Monday Night Raw, as we were just talking about as well, all night long as well. But we'll start off with C4. How are you doing tonight?
Good. Cold. I want warm. As you can see, I'm wearing my Capitals tropical shirt from last year.
I love it.
Ready for warm. Yeah, we too are snowed in. I did not shovel my driveway yesterday. I was like, I am not going out in that mess. So I got up at like 6 o'clock this morning and did it. And my son Bradley also was up, so he helped me. So I didn't have to do the whole thing by myself.
We still haven't done ours yet. So it's just one giant ice rink. And so we're going to hopefully hire somebody to help. I have a bad back, so I really shouldn't be out there doing it. And so we'll hopefully hire somebody
less
tomorrow.
than a year ago, I had that surgery on this arm. So,
so
you know.
I'm happy that you're doing okay, that you survived your You're
My son actually had to park down. He couldn't even get into our development with his car last night. He's parked down the end of the street and walked up.
That's crazy. Yeah, it's been
But I'm gonna
wild. It's
have to
been
try and
very
get out
cold.
tomorrow because I
Yeah.
can't be in the house all day for another day. Although I've been productive, so I can't complain too much about that. I've got some stuff done that
The
I've been
days
wanting
go
to get
very quickly if you have two
to.
small children in the in the house with you. It's chaos making though.
Oh,
So,
I'm sure.
so I definitely don't feel bored, but it's been interesting to say the least for that. Gil, how are you doing in the snow and craziness?
A little sore. I actually went out twice and again this morning to clean things up. Um, we live in kind of a community, but there was still plenty of stuff to clean up, and yeah, to try and get ahead of things, I went out twice yesterday, and the second time was when we had a good inch and a half of the sleet and made things weigh 1,000 pounds per shovel.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, it wasn't fun. But we're surviving. So
Yeah. So it's nice to be able. This kind of reminds me of the old COVID times where, like, I was looking forward to the podcast just to be able to see other people and not just.
yeah.
I love my two children and my wife, but it's nice to be able to talk to other people as well.
Yes.
So yeah, it's an important thing that we're doing here tonight. Even if nobody watches, I'm very happy to do it. So we've got a bunch of stuff to break down. Let's get into the games. I'm going to share my screen real fast. I have to do a little maintenance to get that to work correctly. And VLC player, and then the hockey screen.
Okay, so I'm looking at your list. I was afraid of this. For some reason, my phone mixed up the two. Yeah, see those two? Yeah, that one you got highlighted should
And then
be
the other one I saw there was a couple others that I had fixed. So there you go. I think that I think it should work now. So we'll try it. So this is the first goal of the week, which I was very excited about. Go, I'll let you break it down. I'm going to grab something from the other room real quickly, but I'll let you start and then get C4's thoughts on it.
Okay, so this was the first of the power play goals of this game. Caps actually had a 5-on-3 in this sucker to start. Great cycle here, great movement. Wilson causing traffic in front. Strome sneaking in from behind the net to act as part of the screen and then to fire in the wrister. And Caps are off and running 1-0 here for the lead. And I thought, okay, great start here. 8:25, not too bad. Great start here, and thought this would be the one to break the cycle, or at least based on this goal, it looked that way anyway.
This was the 5-on-3, right? It was the
correct.
Yeah, so this was, which I'm happy to see that we can convert on that. Because I feel like it's very deflating if you ever get a 5-on-3 and don't score on that, because that's fairly, no offense, but kind of pathetic. If you have two extra men, you should be able to find a way to get it to somebody. And so I'm happy we were able to convert here. C4, what are some of your thoughts?
Yeah, it's about time the power play is starting to produce again. Great to see Wilson back on the ice. Now, I didn't watch Monday's game because I had other stuff going on, unfortunately, and I really didn't watch much of the next two, to be honest. But was Wilson back for the game on Monday night, or was this his first game back?
I think this one was his first game back.
Okay. Yeah, and from what I see, looking at the stats, and I just kind of looked at the highlights and stuff, the team looked a lot better with him than they had previous. He brings a lot of energy to the team, so it's nice to see him back on the ice and the power play starting to produce again. So
the frustrating
now
thing,
it seems the 5-on-5 is not doing as well, but
yeah, with this game, they had a lot of energy early. They were definitely excited to be there. As Gil mentioned on his podcast this week, it kind of fell apart for them, towards the tail end of
Yeah.
this period and then into the next period, and it kind of was a snowball thing. Gil, I really liked your podcast and new guest on this week. I thought you did a great job with Tim, so I really enjoyed that segment for sure. But yeah, it was nice to see us get this first goal and to actually get the second goal. It's crazy, Gil. We have like the two best, or the best rookie duo, I think, in terms of points in the NHL, or one of them, and it's one of the best rookie duos in Capitals history. It's been a long time since we've had two rookies, be able to produce quite like this, and so he's just Justin has become this amazing find. We need people like him because I feel like Protos and some of the other people that we thought were further along have maybe they're injured. We don't really know why, but they're just not producing at the clip that we were expecting. Even a Connor McMichael, who's done better recently, isn't producing like he was, last year, and what we thought he was going to do this year. But talk a little about Justin and what he's meant to the team, Gil, and talk about this goal.
Well, and Al Koken mentioned it on one of the broadcasts this week, but it's ironic in that we might not have seen what Justin sort of has had to offer had it not been for Pierre-Luc Dubois getting hurt. That opened the door for sort of getting all the playing time he's gotten, but thankfully he's made the most of it. Unlike some rookies, but he has made the absolute most of it. In terms of not just production with the puck, but away from the puck as well. He's consistently been one of the best forecheckers on the team, and he's rewarded. You can see what he does, what he can do on the man advantage as well. So he's impressed the coaching staff that much that he's getting power play time, and he's turning in great performances. Consistently one of the guys with the best efforts every night. And you just want to see, you just come away every game, you want to see more. And definitely one of the best hopes for the future of this guy. A great pickup from over the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Considering nobody knew who he was and he is coming off injury and this, that, and the other from Florida. And
what a journey, though. He's played in the minor league for quite some time, too. It's not
Yeah, it's not like he came out of nowhere, really, but he kind of did. But Gil, when we were kind of talking about trades and finding the right players, not just the big name, this is what I'm talking about. Justin sort of is a perfect example of that. He isn't the big name, splashy player. He was a rookie. He was coming off an injury. Nobody really knew what he had, but we gave him a chance, and now look where he is. That's the kind of player we need to find, the ones that have that potential to explode like he has. Now, whether they're veterans or rookies, preferably, but we don't need to go after, Trocheck. We don't need to go after, whoever. We need to go after the player that's going to best fit the system we currently have.
That's why it's interesting. People keep on linking us to Panarin and other big name players. I was like, I don't know if I want to go down that road right now.
No.
I still think Trocheck would be a good fit. I think he would be the perfect replacement for Nick Dowd.
He would, and he's still fairly young, right?
He's under 30. Trocheck is 27, I think. Yeah, so I think he'd be the perfect anchor for the fourth line into the next 4 or 5 years.
Assuming
that's why I'm high on him, but that's that's where that goes.
Well, a lot of that's going to depend on what New York wants and how long we can actually keep him. But so I mean but then that's the other side of the coin is we have we are absolutely not trading these players on our list, so the quote unquote quality of player, if you will, that's going to be out there.
Yeah, we've said it till we're all blue in the face. The line in the sand has been drawn, and the Caps are not making a deal that involves Ryan Leonard or
Cole
Hudson. And that seems to be the asking price of just about at least 25 other teams. So I doubt a big deal is going to be made, but we'll see.
Yeah.
For sure. All right, let's get into this specific power play goal. Gil, I'll let you break it down.
Okay, so holding here. All right, so Ovechkin to Strome, and then sort of not afraid to go into the net. Sort of is turns out to be this classic Swiss Army knife. He can pretty much play any way you need him, and here he's playing the bumper position, being the big body in front of the net, not afraid to take the punishment, and gets the fires in the close in wrister. Big surprise, another goal scored close in front of the net.
Yeah.
It seems like when they go to the net, they can't seem to fail. I don't know why they don't do this more often, but when they do, they have the majority of their success right
Seems
here.
like I've been
But it
preaching
doesn't
that for
happen with the
years.
great puck movement by Strome and Ovechkin.
Yeah.
Yeah, Strom has 27 assists at this point, and Ovechkin 23, and Justin gets in the double digits in goal scoring already, which is phenomenal. And just really, I'm so happy for him, and I just wish that like the wheels didn't come off a little bit here. I don't know. It's just it was a tough. Wait, this game. This is the Oilers game. What happened here? Why did that just should have gone?
Oh, did I mark that wrong?
Hold on.
Oh,
Maybe. Hold on.
you know what? I marked that wrong. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's fine.
I have been in a really bad brain fog the last 4 days.
So
I have
who?
no idea. So the shoot. So I might have mixed up. Can you jump to 124-26? I
Uh-huh.
might have mixed those two up.
No,
No, not no, 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 no,
The Strom.
no.
the Strom
No,
one.
it's other way. That
Wait,
one.
nope, that one.
No, that's
Is it
the
the one at
same
the
one.
top?
Shoot.
It's fine. Is that the same one, or is it just? Yeah, it is. It's fine. We can
It's the
just break
same
it down.
one.
We don't have to. That's fine.
It's the same one. So, okay. So basically, the Strome goal, um, for well, if you fast forward to this video past the goal, there's a special message.
Mm. And is that the special message for this one?
No. Oh, jeez. I uploaded. What happened?
I don't know. Maybe I screwed up. It's
I am
possible.
way the fuck off my game.
It's very possible I grabbed the wrong file. Hold on. It's fine. 7.5. No, this one looks like it's a different file. Okay, but is this message the correct message? The dear caps, next time don't wait until the last minute?
That.
Yeah.
So, no, that's
But that's the other one.
the other one.
Maybe.
Damn.
I don't know.
Oh, that was a big screw up on my part. Anyway, not to waste any more time on this colossal abortion
Oh,
that
here it
has
is.
become. Yeah,
Here we go.
yeah.
All right. There you go.
So Strome gets Caps get a power play late, very late. Well, no, not a power play. Wow, I am all over the place tonight.
It was at 16
Yeah, wasn't
so
a power play. Yeah, wasn't a power play goal. It was a 6-on-5 goal.
mhm.
Caps had pulled Logan Thompson with about 5 minutes left to play, is what happened. And that, for some reason, is when they decided, okay, well, we need to win this game. And then about a minute or so later, they had the Canucks pinned in their zone. They stormed the net, and Strome, again, they go to the net. Strome is at the right side of the net, stuffs it in off of a rebound, and at about with 3:23 left in the game is when they came within one. And I really thought they were going to press and tie the game eventually, but they couldn't do anything with it afterward, and just extremely disappointing result afterwards.
Yeah. I want to also thank Tina French who gave who resubbed, and I didn't even notice it. So she's done it for now 39 months in a row. But I appreciate she's lurking and doing some other stuff as well. But thank you for live listening and for the resub. I appreciate that as well. Let's. I mean, I was just pretty much disappointed with this game overall. C4, do you have any final thoughts on not being able to beat the worst team in the NHL and ending their 11-game losing streak?
I got nothing. I got nothing. I mean, like Gil said, it started out great, I feel like a broken record. We make these games harder than we have to. I don't know how, I don't know why, but we do, and yeah, I got nothing.
Yeah, I mean, we were up 2-0, and then we just let them get 2 late period goals in the last 5 minutes of the period, or thereabouts. Like one
And
was
one
at
of them was
7.
Evander Kane of all people. I mean,
I
come
know,
on, people.
I know. He's not even having a particularly great year. So it's
No.
not, so that's even worse. I feel like we do a good job of making people having a bad year look good.
Yeah, there we did. There it is. There it is. Wait, and the funny thing, if you look at the game stats, we really didn't play that badly. It's just something.
Well, we switch off our brain a little bit. At these like the wrong moments, and we just go through these lapses. And
Yeah.
we had a lapse here in the first, and then there was a lapse in the second, and then by that point we're so many goals down, and it's just hard to come back. We can't come back from a 2-goal deficit all the time. We tried, and we almost did in this one, but there was effort in the last 5 minutes. It just wasn't consistent.
Yeah, too little,
Yeah,
too late. I
yeah,
mean, there's been a lot of that the last year or two. Just too little, too
yeah.
late. It's
I
just
just don't know how we get back to having a good second period again. Like I feel like we have sometimes good first periods and bad third periods, or then it's the
yeah.
worst where it's
Well,
like
I
a
think
bad first and
yeah, well, I think Gil hit on it when we were talking in his podcast a couple weeks ago. We do not really have a fourth line. So we're essentially rolling 3 lines with like a hodgepodge at the end. And so guys are getting tired, I think. We just don't have that fourth line to pick up the slack a little bit so that these guys can rest a little longer. But here we are.
yeah. All right, let's just move on. There's not a whole lot more to talk about. Let's talk about
No.
more positive things. And we didn't score first in this game. And in fact, one thing I saw recently, Gil, which I didn't realize, do you know that we score first more often than any other team in the NHL? And
Yes.
we actually have a pretty good record when scoring first.
Leads the league,
Yeah.
and they usually win when they when they do that. But
They didn't last time, so then they had to reverse the script, the next game, I guess. And so we got
Right.
scored on first in this one. And the guy, it wasn't very nice what I yelled when I saw that he scored. But I will say, but I will say, I said he found a nut, and my wife was, "What do you mean?" I was like, everybody finds one nut, like
Even a
once in a
blind squirrel
while.
finds a nut now and again.
Yeah, exactly. And I screamed.
I
He
think I was
found
in
it.
the I think I was in the middle of timing a race when this happened, and my phone buzzed and I nearly lost track of the lumber. I think they were running a 3200, which is 16 laps around a 200-meter track.
It was.
So,
I think it's been 90 games
it's
since
been a
he scored.
90,
long
91
time.
games. Yeah, if I had a drink in
Long
my hand
time.
when I saw this, I definitely would have dropped it.
Yeah, I was amazing that. I mean, and stick with it. This is what we know that he can do. He's
Yeah.
just been so snake bit. I'm hoping that this opens the door for him, and he doesn't go another 80 games or whatever
Right.
without scoring again. So, because I know that he's capable of more. He would not have this spot if they didn't see enough in practice. And there's so many young players, Gil, that we've got, in Hershey that we could call up to fill this spot. They must see something in him.
They do, and this is just a very small example of what he's capable of. But I think it's not hard to see the problem. I would say about 85% of his issue is mental. He lacks the confidence and the I hate to say but some of the mental wherewithal to make the quick decisions that are needed, and he doesn't feel like he knows what he should do out there. And and most of the time when he actually is playing the 6-7 minutes he does get, he doesn't do a horrible job. His metrics aren't all that bad. He just doesn't make enough of an impact to warrant more time that he already is getting.
Yeah. I don't know what the answer is. John Carlson, 32nd assist on this one. Is this the one where he gets his 600? I know it happens this week for 600 assists. It may be.
I think it was either this one or the one after.
Right, one of them. But congratulations to him joining the 600 assist club.
No. It was last game, because that's right. They were that was the 600 assists was probably the only good thing they had to cheer about.
Okay.
Because they lost. So it was
Yeah.
last game.
Yeah, it was. It was against Vancouver. I just looked it up.
All right. Well, either way, it's a good time to talk about him, even if this is his 601st assist. But really incredible stuff from a defensive player. I think only the 24th defensive player in the history of the NHL to hit that mark. So it's very hard to do from the defensive side, and shows that he's still capable of doing a lot for this team. And he's still a goal scorer too. But just really incredible stuff. I know that there's a question mark on whether we'll re-sign him for next year or what the plan is, or if he retires. But John Carlson has won things at all levels for us, including with the Bears and the Stanley Cup. And there's very few Capitals that have hit that 600 mark in history. And it's wild. I was looking at the stats, Gil. It looks like Ovechkin is going to break Nicholas Backstrom's assist record.
Nice.
And that's pretty wild when you think about it. He's getting closer, and Ovechkin's getting also close to 1,000 combined goals in the playoffs and regulation as well, which I know isn't the 1,000 regular season goals, but still a very impressive mark that currently only one other person has, right? So, but anyway, so I'm happy for John Carlson. I'm happy that Hendricks was going to the net, right? We talk about this a lot. But Gil, I'll let you break this one down.
At least somebody else besides me is saying it for once. But yeah, exactly. So if we roll the play here, so Faravari starts it, gets it over to Carlson, the ultimate puck mover here. Oh, and looky here. What happens? Two guys going to the net. And here it is, in actual person and not in squiggly computer stuffs. And yeah, there it is. Throw up the fireworks. Celebrate.
Yes, I love that. And I almost wish that you had held it a little longer to show how the team celebrated this, because I felt like the way that they celebrated reminded me of when they won the Stanley Cup. Like if they could have flung gear, in the second period, they would have, right? So, I think that it's a big reason why we won this game. Sometimes goals matter more. It's kind of like in basketball how like a slam dunk counts as 2 points, but like to the psyche of the other team and the momentum of a game, it means more than just a normal score. In my mind, a goal like this, getting the monkey off his back, the team celebrating, and how excited they were for him, catapulted them. I was hoping for the whole rest of the week, but definitely for the rest of this game is what I thought. But C4, what are some of your thoughts?
I was actually at a track meet Friday night, so I really didn't see a whole lot of this one, but I am thrilled for LaPierre. I was kind of following along on conversation, on the Power Play Point podcast chat and stuff and on the app as I had time, and I was just absolutely thrilled for LaPierre, because this is the LaPierre we all know and love that we want to see more of. So this is, my cat keeps trying to, I don't know what he's doing, but he's
not.
So if you want the effect
whiskers
of this goal in actual numbers, and it bears worth repeating, I did say this on this week's episode, but in the first period, the Caps were doubled up on shots 16-8. In the second period, largely after this goal, they managed to get 17 shots in the second period to Calgary's 4. So They thoroughly dominated the play, and they went on to get 13 in the next period and limited Calgary to 6 in the third. So to say that this goal was a shot in the arm is a pretty big understatement, but that's exactly what it was.
Yeah, for sure. So finally, Alexei Protas, who's been playing better recently, but just I feel like something's not right with him. We've talked about this in our group chats. I don't know if he's injured or it's a mental block or whatever it is, but he's not the same guy that we thought. And he's got such an incredible reach. That can't be understated. And I kind of love that the cat is getting a cameo.
That's Sebastian. He's been all up in my grill all day.
Yeah. But just in talking about Tom Wilson, driving the play, and sort of also playing well, this has got such potential right here. And in the third period, with not a whole lot of time left in the game, it becomes a really important goal to break the tie. But Gil, I'll let you break it down a little more.
Okay, so Wilson wins a battle in the corner, throws it behind the net. Sort of ever the Gopher gets it. Cross ice pass to the middle, well, funnel pass more in the middle, gets it in front of the net. And great effort all around. Okay, so Wilson gets it first, and then looks like Protas picks up the garbage and throws in the wrister for the Caps to get the lead, and they wouldn't look back after this one.
Yeah, just big time goal here. Just for timing, we're going to go to the last goal. We got an empty net goal situation. You can see how many people are on right now, but Ovi just incredible with these empty nets, just able to, there was a turnover here, which was obviously very key, but he was in the right place at the right time. But his ability to just get past the blue line or be just beyond the blue line, or I can't explain to people how difficult it is to score a goal from behind the center stripe. I showed this to Zach. He's like, wow, that guy can score from anywhere. And I was like, yes, I'm happy that you think that, because yes, there is no goalie, right? And it should be easy to do, but why can most people not do this, right? So it's not like everyone gets a lot of empty net goals, and, it's not an easy thing to get. And he's so sure-handed, and it's an important skill because, again, he was beyond the center stripe. If he misses, it's icing, and they get another chance at it, right? So you don't want to give offensive faceoffs with 6-on-5. So it's you don't give this to everybody. I'll put it that way. You only give it to the people that can make this shot. But Gil, anything that I'm missing in this one?
No, not at all. And as an extra added comparison, there was a game last week that featured the Philadelphia Flyers. The opposition had emptied their net. Garnet Hathaway had
nugget pizza.
Yeah, the nugget pizza combo, because when he scores, it's pizza, and it was the last minute, so of course.
Did actually get my nuggets on Saturday.
To finish my point, Garnet Hathaway was 10 feet away from an empty net. He did not have enough confidence to simply fire it. He had to steady it first, and then he decided to fire it, but it was too late because a defenseman came up from behind, picked his pocket, and they ended up scoring the goal the other way, which cost them the win.
Yep, and they lost it in overtime.
They lost in overtime. So to further your point, Robbie, yes, it does take a lot of skill, even though you've got a yawning empty net.
Yep, and man, there's nothing worse than missing an empty net and then having a 6-on-5 score on you. It's so deflating, and so it's the same kind of thing happened in the next game. We're talking about we didn't get it out, right? We'll get to it, and that's how they tie it in the last minute of this next game. And because we didn't get the empty net goal, or at least get it out, right, to reset our defense, and sure enough, it's in the back of your net. And so we'll use that as our segue to talk about this Oilers game. Protas continues his great play. The other team scored first. I thought, maybe it'll be a carbon copy to the Flames game. This was an important goal. It's already a nugget minute in the first, which can always bring a lot of carryover with it. But Gil, I'll let you break this goal down.
Well, there's a caveat to that, but to breaking this down, a great break into the zone by the team. Sandine driving the shot, and then it's Protus with the tip in. And it was a last minute goal. So again, Nuggets were awarded to everybody. But this was, if I remember right, the night before the storm. So good luck getting those if
Yeah,
you
this was
actually
Saturday
did.
night.
But
Yeah.
yeah, for once, I caught him here actually standing up for himself in an Al Koken interview.
Right.
Um, but yeah, this is the team we hope we would get. Wilson breaking into the zone and Sandine acting as the quarterback to maintain the play and finding the shot, and then Protus doing what he did to corral the garbage in front of the net and get it in. I don't know what it is about this team and going to the net, but one game they're great at doing it, and then the next game they just refuse to do it. I don't get the inconsistency, but there it is.
Yeah, I really like what Protus does. When he uses his athleticism, his length. He's a good skater. He's got a bit of everything. That's why I just want to see more consistency from him. And I really hope that whatever's ailing him, whether it's mental or physical, settles soon. Because I think as he drives so much like a Tom Wilson, for this team, and we really need him to step it up. And I really want him to be the mentor for his little brother in a couple of years, So I'm hoping
Yeah.
that he continues to play at a high rate, and it's not like a situation where his brother replaces him, So like, that's. I hopefully he'll figure it out. And I mean, 18 goals is good. He's just had some
Yeah,
major.
he's still on pace for high 20s, low 30s goals.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, it's good, but it's just defensively, I think, also where one of the things with that reach comes the ability to be able to do poke checks and be able to come back and not be a defensive liability. And in the recent games, I think he's struggled a little bit with that. And so I need more so than even the goals, if he can shore up the defensive stuff, because we put him on a lot of these situations that are difficult, high danger situations, and so we need him to really step it up if he's going to be in that place. C4, any thoughts on this before we get to the next goal?
Again, nice to see Alexei picking up where he left off from the last game, and hope he is definitely feeling better. He looks better for sure.
Yeah.
But I kind of fell asleep. Okay, now he's biting my hand. Okay, you can go now. The cat. Yeah, I kind of fell asleep after the first period in this game, so I didn't see a whole lot of the second and third. I was kind of listening with my eyes closed kind of thing. But
Yeah.
I thought we were going to be off to the races, and no, it was more back and forth than I wanted it to be. Again, one of those games we kind of made it harder than we had to. But then looking at the score, I'm wondering where in the world was the defense?
Right. But I mean, I kind of always knew that a game in Edmonton, they're very difficult to play there, and it is a
Mhm.
kind of a high scoring affair a lot of the times, as well as I want to, Gil, we beat them in the last time in Washington, so you know that they were going to come for revenge, right? And if I
That's
kind of
true.
remember correctly, it was a lower scoring game in that one. It was high
No, we
scoring.
beat
That
them
was it?
7-4.
7-4.
Okay, so then it's always this high scoring. I was going to say that maybe that's why the offense was poured on in this one, but no, it's just both these teams. It kind of reminds me of those old like run and gun days, right? With the Gabby situation, and I just was like, I couldn't believe that we could get to the amount of goals that we scored and still lose. That was what was so frustrating, because it's like it's been feast or famine for us a little bit, and we finally got the goal scoring, but then the defense lapsed all over again. So anyway, we scored. They scored again to make it 2-1. Then we tied it up here, and I'll let Gil break down this sort of goal.
So McMichael does the dirty work and corrals it, pokes it up to sort of who does the rest from center line to blue line to circle. And as you were mentioning, Robbie, he's in the conversation for one of the better rookies this year. If you look at that box of stats at the end. But yeah, this is You can't say enough good things about Sortive's play, and this is another example of that.
Yeah, and so if I'm trying to remember here. So he's driving the play, but also I'm trying to remember. Michael passes is to Lapierre. Is it through
Yeah.
Lapierre?
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, Lapierre actually starts it, and then it was back to McMichael. And I think Lapierre touched it
got it.
uh, before sort of grabbed it and ran with it.
Got it.
Yeah, so
There it was. He bounced it off the wall.
yeah,
He used the
yeah.
wall.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So
Go
you
ahead.
were talking about LaPierre not being bad. I mean, he's got 7 assists on the year. That's not horrible. I
Right.
mean, but he's been very quiet in terms of scoring. So
Yeah, it's been a long
it's
time since
just
we really was
been,
calling his name a lot, you know. So like
yeah,
it's the consistency thing, and I think that
yeah.
he's got the ability, and
Oh,
the
absolutely.
lines being thrown into blenders, and the coach only really
Ugh,
playing
don't even get me started on that.
3 lines a game in a lot of key situations. He's just not getting a lot of ice time, so it's hard to break yourself out of a funk
Oh
sometimes when
yeah,
you're not getting the ice time. But it's like he wasn't showing that he deserved more ice time too. So it's tough to be a
well,
coach, right? So
yeah, it's a
it works
double-edged.
both. Yeah, yeah. It's like you kind of got to prove yourself, but you also need the time to get yourself out of it, right? And so,
Right.
um, this is why they get paid the big bucks, and we just get to talk about it. So,
I certainly wouldn't want their job. I have a
yeah,
hard enough time coaching track and cross country. That's enough for me.
right. And you don't have to like divvy out minutes and choose. Like what I mean, you can give people and track,
It's like
whatever
you're
ones they want to
either
run. Gonna do
top
it,
12 or you're not, or
right?
you're
Exactly.
whatever. But
Yeah,
you still want to get everybody into the meets too. So that
that's
is
true.
always a challenge.
And then we pile on after that goal with a Beauvillier goal, and I'll let Gil break this one down.
So okay, so it's Ethan Frank. Usually he's going the other way, but this one he starts the play over to Carlson, and Beauvillier's open at the left circle, and he drives it in. So here you got some much needed secondary scoring going on here, and this is actually a pretty good shot by him to get it in. But yeah, I mean it's nice to see the secondary guys get in. It takes more than one guy. And sometimes, as they say, it takes a Beauvillier to get a team going.
Yeah, it's better than pulling on the Beauvillier rope or something. I was trying to figure out what were you going to go with that thing. I like it. It takes a Beauvillier. All right. So we've got. It just seemed that things were going right here, and then Dylan's. Then they tie it again, right? Because it's just and the same guy keeps scoring for them, and
Oh yeah, Bouchard got a hat trick.
yeah. So I was like, oh crap, like because
And this was a tale of two games for. I hate to take him to task because he's been spectacular, but this was a tale of two games for poor Charlie Lindgren. He was either
Mm,
really, really great, but on two of these goals, he was really, really bad. Uh,
mm-hmm.
and it literally went through his glove on two of these. And if he had just gotten one of them, they'd have come away with, at a minimum, the loser point. Well, no, well, they did come away with the loser. They would have come away with the win because they would have been up by two. I don't think Edmonton would have gotten two at the end. But this one, Caps were fortunate enough to get another power play here.
well, it's really important because when it's 3-3, after the hat trick, the place is going wild, right? So like it's hard to get the next goal if you're the opposition. And so I thought that this was going to be an important one. That's why I kept on being like, "Oh, we're never going to win this. Oh, we score, and this is a huge goal." And then they tie it again, and then like, "Oh, we're going to take the lead again." And I go through all the emotions at 1 o'clock in the morning. So I'm thankful, Gil, for your therapy group that you have.
Yeah, no
All
kidding.
stay up late together because man, watching that by myself would be heart wrenching, right? Because I'll be totally honest. There's multiple times in this game that I gave up on this game. Like I was like, oh, we scored. Oh, we are up. Oh, we're done. And I was like, now this is over. I'm gonna stop watching it.
I had a feeling it was going to turn out like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was. I'll be honest. I didn't see the sort of goal live, and then I tuned back in after it's 3-2, and then right afterwards, at the beginning of the third, I see that hat trick goal that makes it. That I just think a hat trick at the beginning of the third period, that's really rough. And so this Dylan Strom goal I thought was really key. But Gil, break this one down.
Okay, Caps are on a power play. They break into the zone. Wilson on the half wall does a two-man game. Quick handoff to Strome, who plays a two-man game on the point with Chikrin, and he just launches a laser shot into the net. Great shot here. So we'll loop it again. Wilson holds, handoff to Strome, over to Chikrin, who puts it back. All the space in the world, and just a great shot by Strome, who just kind of like Nick Backstrom in a way, in that he isn't known for his shot, but has a pretty good one anyway. And here you see it again.
Yeah. On the Evan Bouchard goal, McDavid got his 57th assist. Draisaitl got his 44th assist of the season. And I feel like McDavid was just starting to rev it up there. It's one of those crazy things. It kind of reminds me of Ovechkin in his prime, where he just turns it on, right? And so, unfortunately, like he takes it to the next level right after this Dylan Strome goal, and he gets a power play goal, and it was a stupid penalty. And Gil, we were talking about this in the thing. That was like Marcus literally said it 1 minute before this: if we can stay out of the box, we'll probably win this game. Immediately go right back to the box, and it's just you're playing with fire when you've got a team, with Connor McDavid, and everyone can pass it around, and it's not like our power play where it's like a couple of key players are going to be where the goals are coming from. Edmonton's power play, goals could come from anywhere, right? It's just like a really lethal. And then the second you forget about Connor McDavid, he scores, right?
Well,
he shifts out a little bit, and down the ice a little bit, and just changes the angle, and boom, back of the net. But yeah.
Unless you're a regular listener to the podcast, you'll this is the homespun wisdom you're going to miss. But the team acted like I always say, they fed the cat a laxative because the end result couldn't stay out of the box.
Nope. Either that or they've got Girl Scout cookies hidden in there. Yeah. It is the season. I just ordered $48 worth from my neighbor's daughter.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
Got me right in the samosas with that one.
Yep.
Yeah. So Connor McDavid ties it 4-4. I'm like, oh fuck, that's gonna. And then Bouchard got an assist on that one. So both of them are just going crazy with points at this juncture. And that was the difficult thing because we had to guard Bouchard because he'd already gotten 3 goals, right? So you can't just. So they started to just follow and track him just enough that left Connor McDavid open, and then he did this great lateral move that just changed the angle, and they scored. But Connor McMichael was not to be denied. We had another opportunity in this game.
We have our own Connor Mick,
right,
who is definitely worth mentioning here. And surprise, surprise, it was another go to the net goal. So let's go ahead and roll it. So sort of holds, gets it over to Carlson at the point, who fires it, and Connor gets enough to bat it in.
You're right.
he
And was
four whacks at it that he had to take.
Yeah, he did.
Thank God. I saw the replay of that goal. That was insane.
Thank God he was. Thank God he never ran out of whack or was out of whack with that goal. So he put it in, and I really thought this was going to be the game winner right here.
Yeah, I did too. I really thought the momentum getting it back. I was like, oh.
Then McDavid started doing McDavid things again, and
for about a minute.
Right, and that's the difficult thing for sure, because it was so close and everything was going so well, and then Zach Hyman and with an assist by Connor McDavid, right?
Yeah.
Just set him up. We couldn't get it out. This is what I was talking about with Protos. There was an opportunity for him to get it out. He didn't. There's an opportunity for a couple other players to get it out. They didn't.
Yeah,
And we just got
very
hemmed in.
weak clears. They were gassed. They were tired. Wilson did not pick up Hyman in front of the net fully. I hate to say it, but I don't know that Wilson is 100%. They might have, for all of the 10 games he was held out for, it was total. I don't think he's still 100% because they actually held him out of practice today. So
Yeah.
I
I
think
think they're trying to be careful to not ruin his Olympic chance here.
Well,
too.
true.
Yeah. So I think that, not to deny with what you're saying, but like with the aggregate and the time, and sometimes rest is better. When you're coming back from these things, it'll be interesting to see if he plays tomorrow against Seattle. That'll be a more telling thing, in my opinion. But I agree. Unfortunately, because they had to play Connor McDavid and Evan Bouchard, we both had an opportunity in this. They passed it around, and then by the way, we have Zach Hyman in front of the net. It's just they have so many good players. There's a reason why, they've gotten to the Western Conference Finals recently. They've, gotten to the Stanley Cup Finals. They've, they're a good team, right? They're having a bad season for them, in a similar way that we are. But they definitely needed this win in a lot of the ways that we did, to try to get back on the right. And then in overtime, Connor McDavid. The problem is again, just a game of inches, right? We're trying to slide a puck in there to get the win in the offensive zone. And unfortunately, it gets deflected, goes the other way. And on 3-on-3 hockey, if you're hemmed in your own zone, and one guy could just cherry pick pretty much, and you leave Connor McDavid open, and you basically give him a penalty shot, and he's going to convert on that 9 out of 10 times probably, Gil.
Because I'm looking at the thing is Protus had it, and whoever 29 is for the Oilers kind of deflected it, and
I think that's Draisaitl.
Yeah, and then is either Draisaitl? Yeah, hold on, let me run it through again.
Yeah, probably.
It probably was Draisaitl. Bouchard touched it and got it over to McDavid, and that was kind of all she wrote.
Yeah.
Yeah, so deflected off of
it's Draisaitl, then
deflected
to
off
Bouchard.
of Draisaitl to Bouchard.
Bouchard did an outlet pass to McDavid. McDavid,
and he rolled it in. Yep.
Right. So
Connor McDavid doing Connor McDavid things.
he ends the night with 5 points.
Yeah,
3 assists and 2
the game
goals.
before, I knew he was coming back with a vengeance, because the game before, he only managed one shot on goal. He's good for 2 to 3 or more. He managed
the game right before this one, or the game against the Capitals?
Okay. The game right before this one.
Oh God.
He managed one shot on goal. So, and he was not happy with that performance at all. This one, he got 9 shots on goal. 9.
Yeah.
That's pretty brutal. All right, for time, we're going to start to wrap things up here. I just want to talk about the upcoming schedule real fast. We've got the last game on this West Coast swing in Seattle. That game will be tomorrow. Seattle, with their most recent play, has lost 5 out of their last 7. They were able to beat New Jersey and the Islanders recently. They have been off since Sunday. Again, they will be playing us in Krakenland. So that'll be a difficult game, but one that we kind of have to win. And then after that, we're playing Detroit. So Detroit's been much better this season. It's at Detroit. We've lost the home and home to them in late December, so we need to get a little bit of revenge for that. And then next Saturday, the last day of the month, we're playing a very good Carolina team. This one's going to be at home in Washington in a 5 o'clock start, which will be nice for the people that don't have football to watch on Sunday this week, and they want to watch that one. Gil, your quick thoughts on a tough week ahead.
Yeah, this is they're going to need some points. They're not too far out of it just yet, but they really need to start banking points with the break coming up. Seattle's going to be a low-scoring, grinded out game. Got either whichever goalie they start, it's going to be really tough to get
Mhm.
goals. And they've always been a grinding team. So if they can get three in the net here and clean up their own end, I think they'll do all right. Detroit, speedy team. They've always been tough to beat. I think they can beat them, but unless they have the perfect game, I'm not sure how that's going to turn out. I don't like our chances there, to be honest. And then Carolina, that'll be the truest test because they've been kind of 50-50 lately, a little better than 50-50, but it's the first game home, which sometimes they play great, sometimes they play not so great, and but it's Carolina, and they always get up for Carolina. So I'm hoping they really amp it up for that one. That'll be probably the most entertaining to watch this week.
One can hope. I mean, we beat them 4-1 the first time we played them. They beat us 3-2 in a shootout the last time we played them, so we'll see how it goes. But if we come out in the next 3 games, if we come out with 3 points, I'll be happy. Just because
Yeah,
because
that's still 500 hockey, which
I,
isn't good enough, but it at least keeps them within striking distance for the time
yeah,
the time being.
yeah, I mean, and I really, really want this team to make the playoffs this year, but truthfully, I wouldn't entirely be surprised if we didn't.
There's a lot of teams that
Um,
are all really close. So I just want to give people
it's
an
just the
update.
Metro is such a mess.
But the whole entire East is a mess. So we're at 57 points. We are in a three-way tie for the fourth spot if you're looking at the wild card race, right? Top two teams make it in, but we're only 5 points behind that second spot, which is held by Boston. Montreal has 1 point more than them in the first. But if you look at the Metro, the Islanders only have 61 points, which puts it's only 4 points above the Capitals. So 2 wins separate right now that last spot in the Metro, not even a wild card one, which is I think what you'd want to get anyway if you could.
Mhm.
It's all very, very close in the Metro. I mean, New Jersey's at 56 points. Talking about that we're going to be playing them. Toronto
Yeah, the
has been
thing is,
playing.
though, almost everybody in the Metro has at least one game in hand on us.
Yeah, that's true.
Some have two.
Yeah, but I mean,
So,
you still got to play him out. You got to
Yeah.
keep 500 hockey. You got to keep within a couple of wins, get the rest from the Olympic break, and then go for a run after that. But it's gonna be exciting. We'll have a lot to definitely break down next week with those 3 games on episode 400. C4, are you doing anything with your podcast with Sakuram and gang over there?
I think we're live streaming the Detroit game. He's not feeling very well, so he's downstairs. I think we're live streaming the Detroit game. Saturday, we might be going to the Bears game if I don't have anything going on in terms of track. So I haven't
That'd
looked
be
at my
cool.
calendar here.
Well, maybe we'll have
I
you.
know. Well, actually, I don't have anything on Saturday. It was Saturday, 31st. Actually, no, we're not going to the Bears game because the Bears are away. So we might be live streaming the Carolina game as well.
Oh, cool.
Um,
I've just put a link to if people want to check out All Sports Podcast
mhm.
Network on YouTube.
Yep, and
Also check out the Sir
he's
Kerm Capitals Off the Chain podcast on Spotify and other stuff. The link is in Twitch chat as well. But
yep, and he's got also on that All Sports. He does wrestling, he does baseball, he does football. So there's all kinds of goodies in there.
nice. Well, I'm going to keep C4 on just to do a little crossover section, talking a little bit of wrestling. We've actually got a match for the championship right now. CM Punk put it on the line against the phenomenal AJ Styles in a match that
Ooh,
was announced tonight. They let a
are
world
they wrestling
championship.
tonight?
Yeah, they're wrestling right now, and in this matchup. So that way, at least AJ gets one more chance at a world title before possibly his last match at the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
this weekend, which would be interesting to see if he comes into that match with the world championship, right? So,
That would
uh,
definitely be interesting.
yeah, the heavyweight championship, I should say, because that's the one he's
Yeah.
fighting CM Punk. But Gil, I'll let you give any final thoughts or any final shout outs for the Power Play Point podcast for this week.
Yeah, definitely be sure to download and catch our episode. I have very special guest on Tim Robinson of WTHU Radio out in Thurmont, Maryland, online radio. It's 1450 Cool Oldies. He does the morning
I
drive
knew I knew
during
that
the
name.
weekdays. Yep, out in your neck of the woods, Cheryl. So
Yeah, not too far.
yep, he's a part of our Facebook group. But yeah, Anna couldn't come on, so I called out for co-hosts who were available and who had at least seen one or two of the games. And he stuck his hand up, said, "Yeah, I'm your man." And yeah, I think we had a pretty good. It was a quick show, 45 minutes, but nice, good pace. He had a lot of energy to it. I think you'll enjoy it. So he's on this week, and we'll hope to have some more guests. We got 2 weeks before the break, so it's next week, the 1st and the 8th are the last two before the break. If you out there want to join your Caps fan, you want to talk about the Caps and how they're doing, still an open invitation. But we're going to wind things up before the break, and then we're going to take some time off since there's no Caps games. But yeah, that's what's happening.
So
Excellent.
we were having such a busy hockey segment. I didn't get to say hello to the Raiders. We definitely got some people that were able to join a little bit earlier. Pascal Rock Music and Tina, also Old Retro Gamer and stuff like that. So thank you guys. Sorry we were in the middle of our long conversation, but I love Old Retro Gamer as an Edmonton Oilers fan. I watched the game on Amazon Prime, so that's awesome. And thank you so much, Pascal Rock Music, for the raid. I really do appreciate it. And I'm sorry that we were chatting, so I didn't get to talk to you while we got your raid in earlier. But yeah, I thank you everyone for tuning in tonight. It's been a fun segment. Again, next week we're celebrating 400, so I'm looking forward to that. But Gil, I'm excited for you. We'll hopefully get Anna back here next week. I think we're even going to get Janaea. Maybe we'll at C4 as
Nice.
well. So we may do staggered segments. I don't even know how we're going to fit everybody in, but we're gonna figure it all out. We may even get the return of Carol. There's talk that he
Wow.
might even
Okay.
join in, and some other friends as well. So lots of surprises and interesting things all possibly coming next week on episode 400. We'll definitely break down those three Capitals games. A big part of it. We'll preview the Super Bowl as well, and then we'll just reflect on some of our favorite moments over the 400 shows, whether it be the Capitals winning the championship, which is, spoiler alert, my favorite moment, and then but also the Nationals championship, the parades, and all of that as well. So go check it out. If anyone's missing any of the old content, you can always go check out on YouTube. We've got all the latest stuff. I also want to give a quick shout out to our scuba channel that's doing really well. If people want to go check out the diving and things like that. Gil, before I let you leave, I know that our friend Audie Wood isn't feeling too great, but I do want to let you give one more shout out for what he's doing, and I'm hoping that he feels better soon, and then we'll let you jump.
Thanks, Robbie. Most appreciated. So, yeah, he actually had last week he had a mini stroke, and on top of that,
Oh gosh.
they found MRSA, and he was just released from the hospital either earlier today or yesterday. So yeah, he hasn't been in the best of health lately, but he's still forging on with empowering education. And we're actually next week we're having our first 8 week class run for our financial literacy courses here in the DMV. So all of our enrollees are set for that, but just want to put that out there. A first 8 week run of classes. So go to empoweringeducation.org if you want to find out all about us. Of course, we're taking donations all the time for equipment and other expenses. So if you want to look us over, you think we're worthy of that, this nonprofit is definitely that. So thanks again, Robbie, for that and for giving us a platform for that much worthy cause.
Yeah, definitely go check out Empowering Education. They're over on Instagram, and they're doing some great stuff as well. Also, as their website, and I'm also going to make some commands for them in the upcoming weeks that we can start to shout them out more. I'm excited that he's let me enroll in the course as well, that I can learn about what they're doing and help promote it as well. So I'm excited to learn alongside everybody else. In addition to that, because knowledge is power, and why I used to be a teacher. And I'll give a little quick shout out. I do a Wednesday edit show now on Twitch and on YouTube. People can join me. I love teaching people different things, and so lately I've been teaching people the skills of how to make edits. And so this week we're going to be doing our night dive edit, so you can see how the world of underwater and night dive. We'll also talk a little science, a little bit of the different animals that you could see at night, which are very different. The coral formations all look very different at night as well. So we'll break all that down if my kids are in school on Wednesday, which is a big if, because they're off tomorrow. And if I have two kids, I don't know if I'm going to be doing an editing show. So
they announced at like noon today that they were going to be off tomorrow up here. So
yeah, they announced yesterday that they were going to be off Monday and Tuesday. That's how afraid they were. And I'll tell you, like, they needed it because they did not plow the school. We have a school right across the street from my house, and so I get a very quick live reaction to what's going to happen to schools, because if it's an ice rink across the way, they're not having school, right? So so I get a little sneak peek out my window every morning. So yeah, they're not having school tomorrow. That means that I get to be a teacher tomorrow for my son. Always fun. And and my daughter hopefully will do arts and crafts next to us and not be too crazy. Anyway, so that's the plan. But I did want people to know, hopefully on Wednesday we'll be doing that show if people want to learn more about video editing and scuba diving and night dives and stuff of that nature. But you can also go check out Grow Scuba on YouTube as well. So lots of great stuff, a lot of great stuff to learn more about. Hopefully people can do that and join us on any of the platforms. And Gil, I really appreciate it. A great show again this past week. Looking forward to the upcoming week, and we'll see you for episode 400 next week.
All right, we'll be there.
Yep.
All right.
Gil.
All right, night, guys.
Good night. See you later.
All right, with that, I'm going to change over our graphics. We're going to bring in DC's People's Champ. We're also going to do bring in Sith, and because it's
I got the match on my phone.
nice. It's like all right, Seth, I have to do the big reveal. I haven't panned down yet. I thought that you would. So Sith happens, and since it's his birthday week, I thought that I would do that. Also, it's just one of those kind of weeks, right, where the Darth, Lord, and the with the snow, and very much like we're on Hoth or something. It's a tough time.
There was a meme the other day. It was was it Luke and Han or whoever on the Tauntauns going, "We're heading to the store. Do you need anything?"
Down here, we have to rely on VDOT. They've got all the primary roads and, of course, the interstates, but we have to wait on VDOT to clear the roads. So the county that I live in canceled school at like 12 o'clock for tomorrow. And you're thinking those back roads are going to be a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I know where you. I know where you are. I grew up down in Chesterfield County, so not too far from where you are. I went to Thomasdale High School.
Oh, okay, cool.
See, he knows.
Yeah, so I got to get your quick thoughts, Seth, and then I want to get Champ's thoughts too on this surprise title match. I thought that the Raw lineup seemed light when I was looking at it earlier. But it's like they didn't announce enough for this show. Something's going to happen, and we've seen a couple of matches being made on the show. One already happened, but what are your thoughts on this match right here?
This has been a really solid match between two guys that know each other so well inside and outside the ring. That these guys can just put on a fucking clinic and just go at it, and that's what's happening here.
That is sheer brute strength in that move.
Yeah. I'm just so happy he gets another match, which I feel like is much needed, especially if there's a chance that this is over, at the Royal Rumble. But Champ, what are some of your thoughts?
Match has been really good so far from what I've been able to look at, and I'm just glad that So basically, a news story came out over the weekend that I was reminded about that Shinsuke Nakamura kind of spoiled what the potential result was going to be from this match Saturday by simply, stating how, this was his last match before it's over on Saturday, the 3rd. He kind of spoiled it to the point that he was told to delete that post. I think it was on his Instagram story or something like that. But I mean, this is great. If this is AJ Styles' final Raw of his career, he's really going out with a bang. Oh man, what a go to sleep by Punk, but he's outside. That's not going to help him. But
No.
this is a great way to close out. But and there's been a lot of speculation on the internet about this. But there's the potential that this quote unquote retirement match that AJ Styles is having could set him up to have his retirement tour in TNA, where he actually made his name. And with WWE having a partnership with TNA, I think it would make the most sense in the world for AJ to be retired from WWE, air quotes, but then go to TNA and have one final run in TNA, go up against some of those young cats there, maybe be TNA World Champion one more time like Cena did. Hopefully he won't have to be a heel to do it, but either way, I have not made my pick yet for the Royal Rumble for that matchup. I'm still going to be debating that all the way up until we record episode 318 on Friday. But if the idea that AJ Styles' retirement tour is going to take place in TNA, then I'm all for Walter winning to retire him so he can go to TNA and kick ass in TNA and really end his career the way he mostly started, though he did start mostly on the indies. They even talked about it. Him and Punk, went up and down the East Coast in the indies and stuff like that. And this is actually their first one-on-one match in the WWE, but they have history. So I would love to see AJ finish off in TNA, finish his career off in TNA and things like that. But this right here has been this has been a fun match. Oh, Styles Clash.
Nice. It's funny because I read on the internet.
What?
Oh, I almost had that there.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so, but I was reading on the internet, it's like how they had never had a match in WWE. That can't be right. Maybe that means that they won't have it end this week in the Rumble, but now they're having the match, right? So at least
because basically this 10 years ago this month was when AJ Styles debuted in WWE in the Royal Rumble in 2016. By then Punk was almost 2 years removed from leaving the company and had been gone for a long time. That's why they never had a one-on-one in WWE, because up until Punk returned in 2023 or 2024, I should say, they had never had the chance to cross paths. Now they had the chance, and this is what we're getting.
But it's kind of cool because both this one and Nakamura's, from this past weekend, you're going to get these matches.
Oh, that match was so much fun. That was so much fun to watch.
Yeah, they kind of got those dream matches that you wanted to get before AJ Styles leaves the company, right? So you check off a lot of boxes, and also I think it redeems him a little bit for that WrestleMania match that people don't love, And
you mean AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura?
Yeah,
God.
Yeah, that I was. Listen, there are a lot of people, and I'm in that same group that were highly disappointed in that match, especially given the history that AJ and Shinsuke had in New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Nope.
That was below their standards, but then we got a shitty Shinsuke heel turn that ended up lasting longer than it should have.
Yeah.
Just saying.
And I've got one for y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Given that the brand stuff doesn't matter half the time, Friday night from Riyadh, AJ Styles answers the open challenge with Carmelo Hayes. I would love that.
Ooh.
I mean,
that would be fantastic.
The open challenges have become a major high point for SmackDown week to week. It brought back the memories of Cena doing it when he was United States champion. He would back around 2015 or so. He was out here doing open challenges and making sure other guys looked great as well as he did. And this is something that we saw with Sami Zayn, we saw with Ilya Dragunov. Now we're seeing it come back around with Carmelo Hayes. And I'm thinking, if AJ wants to do 3 matches this week, let him show up on SmackDown and answer the open challenge to Hayes and put him over.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I think that would be cool.
That would be really cool.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to want him to work that much if he's going to have to come back and work the next day, but we'll see.
Oh,
Look out.
oh,
Oh.
Finn Balor. Oh my gosh. I had a hard time seeing it on my phone.
Yeah, but it's just kind of funny because it looked like they were sharing so much respect for each other.
Damn, Finn, why you fuck it up like that, bro?
Because he's an asshole. I've never liked him. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, but I think he's also mad that he doesn't get a spot in the Royal Rumble. That was like a whole entire story earlier, right? That they were full.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's different.
I'll tell you why he would do that.
I'm gonna let you guys talk a little bit about Saturday Night Main Event real quickly. I gotta go fix something over here, but you guys can talk about that and this live wrestling. I'll be right back.
Well, okay, I'll lead this one here, Robbie. So let's start off with C4. C4, what did you enjoy about Saturday night's main event if you did watch it? She gave me that face.
I actually missed it. I did see highlights, but no, what was I doing Saturday night? I think I was still recovering from the track meet Friday night. Yeah, they're long, those meets. No, we were actually outdoor. Were we door dashing Saturday night? I actually missed it Saturday. What was I doing Saturday? I got to go back on my calendar and figure it out. Tell you, getting old, people, it's just not for the faint of heart.
Look at the gray fox over there to your left. I mean, he's up there with you, so he knows.
Oh, I bet I'm older than him.
Maybe, but
actually, Saturday I was getting ready for yesterday, and I was, yeah.
Well, Sith,
I bet I'm older than him.
Having the Prince Devitt version of Balor here.
Yeah, and Sith, why, like, so what, Sith?
And of course,
I know you're gonna Sith. I know you're gonna give your full thoughts on this on Friday, but what about some preliminary thoughts on how you liked Saturday night's main event for the good people of Sports on the Hill podcast?
Sure. For a show that had a very weak build, because there was so much crammed, like you had Raw Netflix's year anniversary, then you have the Royal Rumble this weekend. You had very little time to build for Saturday night's main event. It's probably had last year as well.
Mm-hmm.
This was a very solid show. This is a show that, if you're wondering, oh God, how are they going to handle Netflix? I mean, not Netflix, but the Peacock air Saturday night's main event after the Cena's last match episode last month. This was awesome. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I gotta say, so I didn't watch it live because I had been imbibing in my mocktails, and I was just like in another world, and I completely forgot that it was on. So I just waited for it to be done, and I watched it on demand. And I enjoyed what I got to watch. The Fatal 4-Way was pretty cool. The Women's Tag Team Championship match was really, really good. AJ versus Nakamura was definitely one of the top matches of the night. Even though there was only 4 matches, that was definitely a top match of the night. Unfortunately, Cody and Jacob Fatu ended up being a pull-apart brawl that involved the WWE champion Drew McIntyre as opposed to an actual match. So clearly they're going to do more with that if they didn't even let them have a match that was already previously advertised. So there's that. But all in all, I think Saturday night's main event was a good card. And Montreal was definitely on fire. And I think they were even more on fire when Sammy won in the main event, which I think was a great move because now you have Sammy with the home field advantage being in Saudi Arabia. A lot of people don't know this, but Sammy is of Muslim descent. I think it's either his mother or his father is Syrian. I think his mother's Syrian.
I can't remember, but yeah, I knew that.
One of his parents is Syrian. And for the longest time, he didn't go to the Saudi shows because Saudi Arabia and Syria had very, very icy relations. and it was almost a danger for him to even go to Saudi Arabia. But when those relations started to warm up again, and they started to have a much more positive relationship, that's when Sammy was able to go to the shows. And I mean, Sammy probably gets the biggest pops out of anybody on that roster when he comes out, which goes to show you that, everybody, he was missed though on those previous Saudi shows, but now that he's there, he really gets the crowd going. Have that home field advantage against Drew McIntyre this Saturday. I will say, and this is just, go ahead, C4.
No, I said I need to see that match.
Yeah, I mean
I want to see that match.
Good. Yeah, the Fatal 4-Way was pretty good and produced a likable result, which was Sami Zayn winning.
Well, we all knew Sammy was going to win. We all knew it was going to be Sammy and Drew. They've been teasing it for weeks, but
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. They have been, not even just weeks. They've been teasing this for months.
And considering
Sammy getting there,
who was it? It was Priest. Who are the other Priest?
It was Damian Priest, Randy Orton, and Trick Williams.
Yeah, no, the best matchup out of all of them. I don't know. Damian Priest has lost his appeal for me since he left Judgment Day, and he and Rhea have they're still friends, but he's just kind of lost his appeal for me. Randy Orton would have been a good matchup, but I really think Sammy is the best matchup for Drew, because Sammy to me always kind of comes across as the underdog, and I think people tend to underestimate him a little bit. So I think this is going to be a really, really good match. I am so excited for this match.
I think a lot of people are excited for Sammy versus Drew at the Royal Rumble. And of course, the Royal Rumble matches, which personally, I'm a little saddened that this year's Royal Rumble hasn't gotten the same hype and appeal as the previous ones, where people declare for the Royal Rumble like a month in advance.
Yeah.
That here we're getting people starting to declare for it 2 weeks prior. And it's like, well, Jesus Christ, but at the same time, it also leaves open the likelihood of a lot of surprises and a lot of surprise entrants. And I think that's what the Royal Rumble has been missing, at least on the men's side for the last couple of years, is those like surprises, like, holy shit, this person's here. What the hell is going on? Because we've seen that in the women's Rumble, but we don't see it enough in the men's Rumble. Though I am predicting that the current TNA world champion, Mike Santana, most likely has a spot. He'll be in it because they've been doing that with TNA for the last couple of Royal Rumbles on the women's side, and they did it last year on the men's side with Joe Hendry. I think that Mike Santana is going to have a spot in the Royal Rumble and have a good showing in the Royal Rumble. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that's what's going to happen. But we got Robbie back now.
Yeah. No, it's.
I wouldn't mind having Lele Ling in the women's Rumble.
Who's that?
Yeah. Oh, the Knockouts world champion.
Yep.
The women's world champion, Lei Ying Lee.
Ooh.
She used to be in WWE, actually, Lei Ying Lee. She used to be in WWE.
I know the name.
And so, now she's in TNA, and she's currently their women's champion, though she's got an issue with the Elegance brand and stuff like that. But no, I think that we might get Lei Ying Lee as well as Mike Santana in the Royal Rumbles this year, because they are the top champions in TNA and they have that relationship with TNA. I would not be surprised if we got them two in their respective Royal Rumbles, and I think they would get big pops out of that as well too.
One last question for this segment. Hold on. So they announced the Division. All 4 members are being thrown into it. That was his like. I like how he's like, I'm so sorry, I'm going to give this as a gift to you guys. But I love that because it kind of pits them all against each other, right? For who's, which is a good way
Adam Pearce is such a piece of shit for that.
Yeah, he is.
I hope that there are a lot of them are late entrances as well. That'd be kind of funny, if they force them to go at each other, right? So,
well, it's funny because they did a segment during the show where they said we're going to make sure someone from the division wins, and that someone is Braun Breaker. So apparently they have a plan in place to try to make sure Braun Breaker wins the Royal Rumble, but I bet you that plan is not going to last very long.
Right, and it's going to be hard. Anyway, so thought that was
Brawl
interesting.
segment. I'm going to give you guys a chuckle. Being the metalhead that I am, during that Brawl segment that opened up Saturday night's main event, what did Judas Priest's hellbent for leather to get played from like the early 80s and have some steel British metal on in the background or something like that? Or to make it more modern for the younger people, Bodies by Drowning Pool.
Okay. Yeah. Let the bodies in
Yeah. No, I thought it was a really.
This is what Sith does all the time. He makes the most obscure 80s reference, and I just stare at him. I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to let the old man cook because I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. So go for
He's
it.
a metalhead. You know?
Hey, I inherited my father's record player, and my late husband had vinyl downstairs, and I came across this gem.
Oh.
Freebird Live on this gem.
Nice.
The soup, like the 20-minute version.
So when someone yells "play Freebird" at C4, she can.
Tuesday's gone.
Hey, Robbie, I have a question for you because this is something that was mentioned while you were gone. Who do you think is older, the old man Sith or C4?
I'm gonna go with Seth.
You gonna go with Seth?
Going on 52.
I'm older.
There you go.
We'll take your word for it, C4.
I'm more than happy to tell you how old I am. I will be 58 this year.
Oh wow!
Nice.
W.
Nice. Well, you don't look a day over 50, so there you go. So,
well, there we are.
C4's like, don't flatter me.
So,
I don't care.
It was a safer bet to always go with Sith on that question. it was never. So, but I really appreciate C4 and Sith on his birthday week joining us. With all the crazy snowstorms and stuff like that. We'll definitely have you guys both back on for some segment. Where it's gonna be a really big show next week for 400. But we'll definitely have to recap how the Royal Rumble ends up, and that'll be a big segment on it as well. And I appreciate you as always, Sith and C4. Sith, if you want to give a final shout out to what you're doing on The Basement, go for it.
Right now on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, Sith's Basement, which went live last night, the best film of every year of my life, including this past year. And this Sunday, 40 cheesy 80s songs, worst to best.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay. A little bit of a note where it comes to the best movies. There's some years where things were totally conflicted. Like 1987 was a toss-up between Good Morning Vietnam and The Untouchables. And I'm like, I got to go with this film because of theatrical nostalgia.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah,
yeah, I've seen both of those films. That's like, that's a tough choice.
That's true.
The thing about one film, though, the film that I picked for 1987 is whenever it's on like Paramount Plus or something like that, I'm going to give it a watch during that month and just enjoy it all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, C4, one of the things about Sith's birthday week is that he's always cursed with having the shittiest movies come out in theaters.
Yeah.
Return to Silent Hill. Fuck off.
Here we go.
I kind of want to see Mercy. I want to see Mercy.
I saw Mercy. I saw it. It was good. I liked it. Really, I mean, if you like those sorts of like sci-fi, I like how it was shot and the fact that he's in a room. And this is not giving anything away. This is the plot of the movie. Like he's in the room and he's got to defend himself, and the visuals coming through and him being through camera works and talking to people through the phone. To be able to link to the whole rest of the world. So interesting. It's really... I always wish I'd seen it in 3D because the visuals would have been really insane.
James getting 2 quick reviews Friday night.
All right.
Mercy tomorrow.
Right.
And then on Wednesday, I'm going to a private screening of the new Sam Raimi movie.
Oh!
Which one's
that? That looks like a really good movie.
Which one's that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we just saw. What did we just see? We saw
I love Sam Raimi.
Marty
I'm
Supreme.
seeing it on Friday.
Yeah, they just went and saw Marty Supreme. It was long, but it was actually really good.
I haven't seen that.
And again, someone debated me earlier today on Evil Dead 2, Dead by Dawn. I'm like, it's a fucking classic. I said, and the person asked me, why did it have to be rebooted? And I said, well, you have to soft reboot at the beginning because Sam Raimi didn't have the rights to the Evil Dead at the time. So the first 5 minutes is like a quick loop, if you will, to reset things to get us back to a cabin setting.
Right.
And then the person's like, well, explain the ending. And the ending's one of my favorite endings of all time.
I love Sam Raimi too.
Because it sets up one of my favorite movies from high school.
I can't believe that he still created Spider-Man 3 though. I don't know. I still that movie should have been so much better than it was. All my favorite things, and I feel like he ruined it on purpose as a fuck you to to Sony. So anyway, but I, in general, love him and seen everything that he's ever done. So
Sam Raimi is one of my directors that rarely misses.
Yeah.
I mean, rarely.
We're going to get a babysitter for Friday, and Liz are going to go see it opening weekend. It's one of those things you got to see Sam Raimi with the crowd, yeah, for
but
sure.
Anyway, y'all be good. Chip will do the rundown for no spots for the weekend when he heads out of here, but we've got 2 streams this weekend. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. All right, well, thank you, Seth. Thank you, C4. We're going to bring in Tim, and he's going to join, from Sunny Palm Trees. I like it. And we appreciate both of you guys, and we'll see you guys next week. There you go. You guys are fitting.
See you guys later.
The Capitals tropical thing. I thought that Arun said he was going to join us tonight, but even if not...
I saw him jump on.
Yeah, he was on.
He dropped off. I don't know.
He disappeared. I don't know.
He might be back.
The mysteries of Arun.
Yeah,
but we can talk a little bit of football. And
there he is.
As well. There he is. All right, I think he's connected. Yeah. So while he does that, I'm going to change my graphics, and we're going to talk about the NFL, and I'm going to bring up a couple. Oops. Unfortunately, I'm not talking about the Commanders, so that's not the right one.
The Durs got a new defensive coordinator.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, I think they just announced it. It's
Wait, what happened?
Vikings Jones from the Vikings.
Oh,
the defensive coordinator.
Yeah, is it Durante?
Durante Jones is the new DC for the Commanders. Nice. Not
Wow.
bad.
Yeah, they just announced
I would have liked it. I would have loved for it to have been Al Harris, because Al Harris seemed like he was a top contender for that, because he was a top contender for both the Packers and the Commanders DC job. But I guess Packers went another route, and then we went another route.
Wow, that's breaking news you got there, Tim. That happened pretty much during our show. So
it must have been. I just saw it pop up.
I got the note came to me at 9:03, so over an hour, almost 2 hours ago.
Yeah,
I don't know how I missed that, but whatever.
Yeah, well, I was already starting at this. So yeah, but thank you, Tim. Yeah, so that's interesting. So there is some Commanders news.
Yeah, big news
at the
another
start.
Up and comer.
Yeah, hopefully that works out for them. They really need to revamp the defense, and people are still questioning letting our offensive coordinator go. I don't know. I've gotten a lot of questions about that. Arun, what is some of your takeaway? Are you happy that he looked pretty good in his first year, but what are your thoughts in general?
I think maybe he's trying to get a head coaching job now, and if he has another bad year, he probably won't get a head coaching job offer. So maybe he's just putting his hand in the ring. But I thought he was fine. I didn't think he was the problem. Like, the running game wasn't great. Jaden was injured, so I don't really blame the offensive coordinator that much. More the defense than anything, and more the personnel than the coaching, actually.
And so, Tim, he actually went to the Ravens, so it's kind of funny that I can get both sides of your opinion right now. What are your thoughts? I think he could be really good with Lamar, but we'll be interested to see how he does.
Oh, I didn't really. Did Kingsbury got hired? I thought
Yeah,
they were
it
still.
says 3 hours ago.
Oh yeah. Well, Lamar really wanted him. Lamar came out last week and said hire Kingsbury, and some people were worried that because he was interviewed for the head coaching job there too. Some people were worried that he was going to get the head coaching job. But I think he's a much better coordinator, clearly.
Oh, actually, no. Now that I'm rereading this, he's applying for them and the Titans. So I don't think it's been official yet, but
Yeah, he's probably a finalist. That's what I was going
I
to
think he's a
say.
finalist for a couple of different teams. So anyway, so we'll see. But it's looking like they're trying to get him. So that's
Yeah.
yeah.
The relationship must be good with Lamar, and I guess it sounded like he got fired in Washington, but it was officially mutual.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I also heard that it was like the team wanted him out. So I don't know. It might have been a personality thing, not just results, because 2 years ago obviously was great. So
Yeah, but I think that also, and not to say that he wasn't a big reason why, but I just feel like they kind of figured out his playbook a little bit, and
yeah, more predictable.
yeah, and I think that if he does go to the Ravens, you guys got a bunch of different weapons that you could use that are very different than what we have. So I think that he could potentially be much more effective there. So we'll see. The carousel continues throughout the NFL.
Nobody wants the Browns job though.
Apparently.
They're like losing candidates.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty
RG3
wild.
can get the job.
Yeah.
So, Champ, I'm gonna let you pick. Do you want to talk about the AFC or the NFC first tonight?
Let's talk about the AFC first.
Okay, so we're gonna pull up this was a crazy championship game. Let me see if I can get my screen share to work real quick here, and so let me see here. Does that work? All right, so it wasn't a lot of scoring in this game, so I don't have to break down a lot of scoring. So there was a touchdown scored in the first quarter, which I was kind of surprised by. I didn't expect the Broncos to score first. And then Drake May scored a touchdown in the second, and then they got a field goal in the third. And that's all the scoring. And it's basically a blizzard in the second half here in this game in Denver. It's funny because they were like, oh, it's great that one additional win in the strength of schedule is the reason why this is going to be in Denver over New England. And I was like, oh, people thought it was going to be good for Denver because there was a blizzard hitting New England. What they didn't realize is like a blizzard could just pop up in Denver at any moment, and it did, and it wasn't even like talked about beforehand a lot, and it was just really terrible conditions in the second half of this game, which severely impact both teams. One hadn't had a quarterback who had basically not played for 2 years, and the other was pretty much taken out of this game. I mean, Drake, he did well, but it was definitely more a defensive effort in this one. I'll start off with you, Ken. What were some of your takeaways in this game?
Well, Drake May played okay. Let's not say he played great. He played okay. He went 10 of 21 for 86 yards and got sacked 5 times. So this was definitely a defensive struggle, and the snow coming down. That's football weather, ladies and gentlemen. The snow and everything like that, that's football weather. They were playing in football weather. But New England got lucky to escape from this game. Stidham, 17 of 31, 133 yards. He had the touchdown pass, which was set up by a really good dot that he threw down the field to set up that touchdown. But he did have that interception towards the end of the game that led to the loss, and he got sacked 3 times. So essentially, there were 8 sacks in this game. So it was definitely a defensive struggle with this one. I just think that Vrabel had that team ready to be gritty and grindy and grind out a victory. And now Vrabel is in a position where he can become the first person to win a Super Bowl as both a player and a coach for the same fucking team. I mean, this is looking like a history is going to be made. But this was definitely New England's defense showing up when it needed to. It showed up last week against Jacksonville. It showed up again this week against the Broncos. And I'm as someone who's an offensive fan, a fan of offense, this would have been a game I would have been like, I don't want to watch this. But because of the stakes and how good the defenses were playing, you just couldn't stop watching.
And the coaching, talking about, I don't like the Patriots. We've talked about this a lot over the last 10 years, but
yeah,
I have to give a lot of credit to their coach and how likable I think that he is, and how much that team rallies behind him. Like, I like him in this iteration much better than like a Bill Belichick, Tom Brady. They're like, oh, everything's given to them. I feel like they're like a workhorse more team, and like, bringing them the Titans made the biggest mistake letting him go. Like, I just don't understand. Like, I have to go back and figure out why they would do that. I mean, at that point, it's just a personnel issue with the Titans because he's a great coach. And I don't think he was the reason they were not successful. But obviously, one man's trash, another one's treasure, right? Goes to New England, and this is what you get. But Tim, I know that you also have a well-documented history of hating the Patriots. What are some of your thoughts on this game and this iteration of this team?
Two interesting things about this game. The first, like you said, Vrabel's a great coach, and he was definitely not fired for performance in Tennessee. He had a very bad relationship with the owner there, and I heard she was really upset because when he went into the Patriots Ring of Honor, Hall of Fame, whatever they call it, up there in Boston, he made a comment like, treasure what we have here because not every organization has this great culture, and I think she took it as an insult, which maybe it was. And so he got fired, and really didn't deserve it. Like, look how bad Tennessee is without him too in the 2 years.
Tennessee is ass.
Yeah, just immediately ass, like the worst team in the league. So he makes
that was the Raiders.
A roster better. That's true. Well, yeah, but they're really bad.
No, Tennessee's like the second or third worst team in the league.
Yeah, you're right. They're probably one or two teams a little worse. But anyway, I also saw a bunch of stories about how they should do these championship games in warm, neutral cities because like the storm ruined the game.
Oh, fuck.
But I don't really like that because you play hard to get the 1 seed. Like, Denver had a great season. I think if Knicks played, they would have won. But that's football. I mean, injuries happen, so you got to play with who you have.
I love the home field advantage and the fact that there could be a blizzard in a championship game. I think that's great. That's what makes it different than like a college, bowl game. Like, that's fine for them. Like, and
those bowls existed for decades, so there's still the history.
Right.
It's not like having like a random NFL game in Miami just because it's warmer.
And that never works. I mean, think about like the Pro Bowl. Those are like random games in warm weather, and no one gives a shit about that. Like, I'd rather not have it at a neutral site.
And now the Pro Bowl is a fucking flag football game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And by the way, it was announced today that Shedeur Sanders is now a Pro Bowler because Knicks is hurt and Drake May's playing in the Super Bowl.
It's still funny. There has to be somebody better. Like, he had more.
Clearly, there's no one better. Clearly, there's no one better because it's Shedeur Sanders. And look, Shedeur had a decent 8 games for his rookie year, but he had, I think, 7 touchdowns and 10 INTs. So you have an all-star, because that's what this is. The Pro Bowl is all-stars. And one of your all-star quarterbacks has more picks than touchdowns and only played 8 games out of a 17-game season.
That is basically Tyler Huntley, because Huntley had like the same stats.
Brother, if they were going to put Shedeur Sanders in the Pro Bowl flag football game, shit, put me in there, okay? And I probably would have done at least halfway better than Shedeur.
But so he gets to be called a Pro Bowl player now?
Yes.
Yeah, you get incentives a lot.
Shedeur Sanders ends his rookie year and goes into his sophomore year being called a Pro Bowler.
Yeah, after all that he went through, that is wild.
Watson might.
You couldn't have written that story.
I still think Watson might steal his job somehow. Yeah. Still on the roster.
Now, besides Watson, he'll just go ahead and retire. I'm just saying.
Yeah. All right, Arun, do you have any thoughts on this game before we switch to the NFC side?
Yeah, I think. I guess it's easy to say a little bit in hindsight, but I think Peyton kind of cost them the game in the first half with the decision to go for it on 4th down. Like, they could have gotten a field goal, and also the third and whatever the turnover where that happened. I don't think they should have really been going for the 1st down. They should have just been pretty conservative, especially since the Patriots had not scored up to that point. So I think it's a double-edged sword. Like, you can win more games like they did when the Saints were in the Super Bowl when Sean Payton was the head coach and beat the Colts. But I think the decision, at least the play call, was also terrible too. Just the run to the outside was not a good play call. Like, maybe if they did like tuck rule or whatever, like they did tush push and they missed it, that would have been better. But it was just a terrible play call, I thought, too, for 4th down. And I think ultimately that cost them the game. And I don't really mind the blizzard, but just the quarterback being injured kind of ruined the game a little bit. But I think we'll get a good Super Bowl, hopefully.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited about the rematch of the Super Bowl from all those years ago, where you should have run it but didn't, and it'll be an interesting storyline for sure. All right, let's get on to the other side of the equation here. We got the battle. I like that it was a championship game with 2 division rivals like we had last year with the NFC East. This time it's with the West. This game had a lot more scoring. The last one was back and forth with a Walker a touchdown to start off with Seattle, then a field goal for LA, then a field goal for Seattle as well, and then went back and forth with another field goal for LA and then a touchdown, and they took the lead 13-10. But right before the end of the first half, Seattle was able to score a touchdown with 20 seconds left, and then in the third quarter, Seattle then scores another touchdown and takes a 24-13 lead. Matt Stafford comes back, makes it 24-20. Sam Darnold passes to make it 31, and then a touchdown from Matt Stafford made it 27-31 with 2:06 left. There was an opportunity at the end, a questionable call. Was he inbounds? Was he not? With a couple of seconds left. I think that was the right call. His knee was down, but I'll let you guys debate it. I'll let Ken, why don't you give your first thoughts and then send it around the horn. I'm going to try to
This was definitely the game of the weekend. A lot of scoring. You have Sam Darnold, who was trying to show that last year wasn't a fluke, even though he looked like crap in the playoffs. He came back in this one, and he waits. And this is what really killed me when I heard this stat. He waits until the NFC Championship game to have his highest in terms of passing yardage through in the season. 346 yards passing for Sam Darnold and 3 touchdowns. I mean, an unbelievable and absolutely crazy game. And it was a back and forth game. It wasn't like what Seattle did last week against San Francisco and blow them out of the freaking water. This time they actually had to work for this one. But we got to see a little bit of that sort of rebirth of the Legion of Boom a little bit, but at the same time, I mean, Matthew Stafford has been doing this for such a long time, and he knows what he's doing. And he went out there, he made some really good throws here. He actually threw for 374 yards and 3 touchdowns. But it was just an unbelievable game here. If what was said earlier on in the group chat was true about how the Rams did Cooper Kupp, boy, did they get a nice scoop of karma in their bowls, because Coop went out there. He had 4 catches off of 6 targets for 36 yards and a touchdown. And now he gets to go to a Super Bowl while Los Angeles, who put up a hell of a fight, are once again going to be back looking and seeing who they're going to go after for the Super Bowl next year. But really fun game. Both quarterbacks played absolutely fantastic. It just went down. It just came down to Seattle wanted it more.
Yeah, only one turnover, one fumble lost, right? So, yeah, pretty clean played game. Not a ton of penalties, right? So I just thought it was a good matchup, back and forth. I thought LA had opportunities, a couple of them at the end, a couple of questionable timeout calls, and reviewing things. But Arun, I'll get your thoughts next. What are some of your takeaways in this game?
Yeah, I almost went with the Rams before, but then I saw the Cooper Kupp revenge factor, and also that Devontae Adams was a little bit banged up with coming off the hamstring injury, even though he did have some couple key catches in this one. But I think the Seahawks were able to run the ball effectively with Kenneth Walker, and their defense stepped up. There was a little bit of that catch by Cooper Kupp was a little bit controversial, but I guess the refs aren't going to be perfect, or I don't know, it was a little bit weird, but I think Seattle, with the home field advantage which they earned during the regular season, I think they like the Rams. They've lost I think a couple, just barely the home field advantage in this one. But I think the Seahawks, Darnold especially, was good. He becomes the first quarterback from his draft class with Allen and Jackson to go to the Super Bowl. He made it as a backup actually with the 49ers before, but as a starter, he finally.
I love that answer when they asked him about that. It was like, how do you feel about that? He's like, well, I was already on a team at the Super Bowl, by the way.
lest we forget, I've been to a Super Bowl before, so let's not do that.
Which is funny because it's like that shows the respect that a backup quarterback gets, right? Like if you're not the starter, you're just completely forgotten about in regards to but yeah, I mean it's an important position, especially. I mean, look at Denver; they didn't have somebody who was good enough coming right behind, so it's a very important backup quarterback is a underrated position because a lot of times they don't get to be played, right? Except for when you need them, So it's very. Tim, what are some of your takeaways in this game?
It's sad, looking at the Rams, their special teams really let them down the whole season. That punt returner had a terrible fumble and almost lost a second in the first half. And even in the regular season and earlier, the Rams have had some really bad kicking problems. I think they cut a kicker and they've had some changes. It's just kind of crazy because they clearly have a well-coached team. But looking ahead for them, they might have huge changes this offseason because Stafford could retire. They're going to lose some coaches. They're going to get poached by other teams because they have some good young assistants. And I think they're going to obviously regret this season. I mean, great run, but the way that Seattle beat them twice in Seattle when it really mattered, especially that regular season comeback in Seattle where that crazy 2-point conversion was basically the difference. I mean, that's going to really come back to haunt them. Also, I thought Seattle, if they would have lost, it would have really been kind of like falling on that guy Woolen's shoulders because he had a bad taunting penalty. And I kind of looked at it and thought that was pretty weak, like at that point of the game, because they don't call taunting very often. And it's just like, in the fourth quarter, that's pretty rough. But Seattle was the better team. I think they're probably going to. Well, they are the favorites in the Super Bowl. So,
4.5.
Yeah, happy for Darnold. I mean, he's taken a lot of shit, so good for him.
Yeah. To go from having to play for the Jets, right, to being able to have an opportunity to do this.
Jets fans have to see Darnold versus the Patriots. Like they just keep getting tortured. It just gets worse for them.
Right.
Zero interceptions on the season. I'm still blown away by that. But
I am too. I think that we need to talk about that almost every week. Just it's like such a ridiculous stat, especially because like who their coach is and how respected on the defensive side.
Yeah, Hall of Fame.
Yeah, so he'll never let that down. So, all right, I'm gonna get each of your quick thoughts on the matchup. We'll talk about it more next week if you guys are able to return for the episode 400. But I'll let each one of you give your quick takeaways on the upcoming matchup for the Super Bowl. I'll start with Arun. What is your takeaway of the potential rematch from all those years ago?
I have PTSD from the Super Bowl party, the last matchup. So I don't know what's like. Maybe Seattle gets its revenge, but I think maybe also it could be another. I don't know, like another bad feeling ending if the Patriots win. But I think my brain says the Seahawks are going to win, but I feared for some reason irrationally that the Patriots are going to win.
I feel like everyone always has a fear of the Patriots winning. I think that's a pretty standard fear for sure. Tim, what are your thoughts on the matchup?
Yeah, I pretty much agree with Arun. I just something in my gut tells me New England's going to get like a lucky turnover or block another kick or something and win by like 2 points. But we'll see. I do think it'll be close. Seattle's defense though is pretty strong. Like the Patriots offense really has not been explosive at all this postseason, and they had a lot of turnovers until yesterday. They took care of the ball, but I don't know how they're going to score on Seattle. So probably will take some turnovers, some lucky stuff.
But it's interesting, like Drake May has had to go against some of the better defenses, right? So it's interesting that one route went through the better defenses, the other route, is more high scoring. So it's definitely two different journeys to get to this Super Bowl for sure.
They beat Houston. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, but I mean. And it's weird because Houston just came on so strong, right? Because like no one had them in that situation. But I don't know. It's been a very interesting year in the NFL. I am excited for this matchup. Ken, what are some of your thoughts?
Yeah, Seattle who has a top 10 offense. New England has a top 10 defense. Now, this is the old rubber meets the road type of situation here. I like what it looks like. We'll give more thoughts next week, but that's what I'm saying here is that you have you have one of the best offenses in the league against one of the best defenses in the league, and especially one of the best defenses in the postseason against one of the best offenses in the postseason and in the regular season. I can't make a pick yet. I'm glad we're doing a full preview next week because that's when I can make a pick. Right now, I can't pick who I think will win this one right now.
Yeah, I understand where everyone's coming from. I think that's where my starting place is that like I think Seattle is potentially the better team. Shout out to the girl who before the season started made 3 bets, each for $50,000. And the 3 bets were for Seattle making the playoffs, Seattle winning the championship in the NFC, and for them winning the Super Bowl. The first one paid a couple thousand. The second one paid out $1.3 million.
Holy shit.
If she gets the third one to hit, it's another $3 million. But it's smart to do 3 separate bets because then she's already got the money from the 2 she's already hit. This would just kind of be like gravy.
Right. Playing with house money.
Well, I mean, Seattle came out of the regular season ranked 3rd in points scored on offense, 28.4 points per game. So they know how to put points up on the board. And but New England is 4th in defensive scoring and keeping the points off the board. So you have 2 top 5 units going at it. So homegirl might end up. Who knows? She might end up with $3 million. She might not end up with $3 million. Either way, something's gonna happen. And it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, so I thought I'd give a little shout out to her. It was a good story, and thank you guys for joining me. We're gonna almost leave it like a cliffhanger, so you have to come back for next week for more content for episode 400. And but I appreciate Tim, Arun, Champ, Sith. Happy birthday week to him with C4 doing the crossover. Fun to talk hockey and wrestling with C4, and then of course Gil for all the great coverage for the hockey and stuff like that. We are going to end it here. Definitely check out Champ. He's doing a bunch of live streams on Friday. He's doing the actual podcast on Saturday. He's going to live react to the Royal Rumble. Champ, any final thoughts before we end this?
Yeah, I mean, Raw was good, and we got the Royal Rumble coming up this Saturday. We will be live reacting to that on Twitch, Kick, and Facebook beginning at around 1:50 or like 1:52-ish Eastern time, because it's a 2 p.m. start for the Royal Rumble. It's because it's in Saudi Arabia, so we get a nice matinee stream. But the night before that, on Friday nights, episode 318 of the podcast, we're going to recap Saturday night's main event, and we're going to look ahead to the Royal Rumble, which already has a potential retirement match, WWE Championship match, and the 2 Royal Rumble matches. So we'll preview all that. That's Friday beginning at 6:55 p.m. or a little before 6:55 p.m. Eastern on Twitch, Kick, and on Facebook. And we got that coming up, and then we should be back to our regularly scheduled day after the either after the Super Bowl or somewhere in that area. But either way, make sure you check us out on Twitch and on Kick at True No Spots Pod, and on Facebook at No Spots Pod, Facebook.com/No Spots Pod, to check out those streams this week. That's all I got. It's a fun time to be a wrestling fan. I just want to put that out there.
Yeah, I've gotten really back into it. It's been a lot of fun. I've really appreciated your coverage with Sith and for helping me get back into it, and it's been a fun adventure. And thank you, Arun and Tim and everyone. Again, episode 400 next week. We're going to talk Caps. Hopefully, they'll find a way to win 2 out of these 3 games. And we'll talk about.
This was a rough week for the Caps, man. I felt bad. I was like, man, the Roundtable going to be in some shitty moves, man, with this team.
Yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna be difficult for sure. All right, but lots of great stuff to celebrate. A lot of special guests next week. May even have the return of CP3. We're gonna have a bunch of other people on. Janae, I think, will talk from the West Coast. We got Anna, I think, coming back on as well. So a big group. We'll definitely talk about hockey, the upcoming Super Bowl, preview the Olympics a little bit, and just in general celebrate 400 episodes of the show. So thank you everyone for being a part of it. We're going to go visit my friend. His name is Scat Cat over here on Twitch. I hope that you guys all have... Oh, I spelled it wrong.
Yeah, have a good one.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for joining us.
Sure.
All right, and I'm going to start the raid here. There we go. Grab a raid call if you have one. And thank you again, Champ, for sitting in the co-host chair as always. And we will see you guys all next week. Also, again, if there's nobody, if my kids are in school, there'll be a Wednesday stream, editing stream at noon. Also, scuba diving video, the night dive video, all night dive videos all week long on Gross Scuba. Go check those out as well. And I think that's it. We'll be teasing and doing a lot of scuba videos all week long on all of my socials. So hope you guys liked some of the night dive stuff. We will talk to you guys soon. Enjoy some Scat Cat, and we'll be back on Wednesday and then next week for the podcast. Later.
Goki Genyo, sayonara.